Hi and welcome to Deep in the Bunker, where it is the season of the pear. So with that in mind, here's a quick video mashup of everything I've done with my pears over the past 2 years. Hope you enjoy and watch till the end. And let's start with the very best, my Pear super fin, i.e. super fine. And it's absolutely perfect, lovely for poaching, lovely for very slow cooking and then preserving. That's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to preserve it, and I think I'm going to preserve it in the very best way possible, just in time for Christmas. I'm going to have that lovely Christmas treat. I'm going to go for a spiced poached pear. Here we are, the Moorcroft, a pear tree, highly astringent pears. But an idea. Could this be actually used for culinary purposes? Could you make something out of it? Well, I just made crab apple jelly, so why not a pear jelly? Yes, it's astringent, but the pectin is really high in it because of that. So, a pear jelly, a pear jam, whatever you want to call it, I think it would work. And I could definitely try that. Or, and this could be really pushing it, a chutney. You know, with enough spices, enough everything in there, you're going to go out. It's got the bite to it. It can make it. So either way, I think this is going to be an experiment, and I'm going to have a lot of fun. As always, I found a super easy recipe that even I can follow. Quite simply, 3.2 pounds of peeled and chopped pears, 700 ml cider vinegar, 2 onions chopped again, 2 tablespoons of mustard seeds and ground ginger. And we're going to go with cinnamon, dash of that, cranberries and raisins. Because I'm going to do this for a Christmas one, this is my twist to this very classic recipe, will be 500 grams, and I'll mix it up, some raisins, some cranberries, whatever the thing takes me. And of course the sugar, I need 750 grams of that. Quite simply, just chop it up, put it in a pot, boil away. 40 minutes later, I've got a lovely pulp consistency, and pour it into my clean jars, and we'll see the end result later. So let's do it. So, in with the sugar, 750 grams, as I stated, 700 ml of cider vinegar. And you know what, these are super pretty little bowls. I'm sure there's something I can do with that. Christmas coming up, a little present, something like that. Ginger infused, olive oil, garlic infused, you know, that sort of thing. Let's do it later. Okay. Then we come up with the 500 grams of the raisins and cranberry mix. So I'm just going to go whack it out there. 200 to 1, and into the pot with the cranberry and raisin mix. Okay, so I need a teaspoon of salt to go with this. Mustard seeds, I need 2 teaspoons, so half, 1, 2, 3, 4 half teaspoons. Ginger, 2 teaspoons, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Teaspoon of cinnamon, because of course this is going to be a Christmas recipe. So 1, 2 half teaspoons in there. And now it's time to get on with the chopping. So we're going to chop up our onions, chop up our pears, whack it all in there. Right, let's move on to the pears. So instead of 3.1 pounds, I'm sure I've got more than enough here, so you can see. So, I say these are my Moorcroft pears, they're my alcohol Perry pears, and this is purely an experiment. But you know what, if you don't try, you'll never know. So I'll demonstrate the first one. Peel it, cut it in quarters, and we're going to cut out the core, simple as that. Of all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to take the weight down quite significantly, which is why, you know, to our every pear here, I'm ending up with just over 4 ounces, 4 or 5 ounces of pear. To multiply that, I'm going to need this entire bowl to make up the weight I need. So this is super easy to work out. So you just take off the outer skin, cut it in quarters, get rid of the skin of course. And don't forget, this is a natural product. You may not get the exact line perfect, but it's good enough. I picked, say, 10% more than I need, and if I find any rotten ones in there, simply replace it a few more. So cut rough chunks is what I want. Side. And in the pot. Right, all peeled. Let's get it into the pot now and simmer away for 40 minutes. Giving this a stir now. It's starting to come down, starting to get hot and boiled. So, yeah, about a half hour more. Let's see how we get on. Right, while that's cooking away, let's get rid of all this, turn it into compost, and get ready for the main event. We are going to go with our spice poached pears. That is going to be pears spiced with ginger, cumin, everything great. So at Christmas time, it gives that just that wonderful lift. Now I have made this back in 2018, and here's the remainder of the sauce. And you can see the pear's long gone. It was delicious, trust me. But the pear juice is still there, the vinegar, the liquor, whatever you want to call it. And try and get over it. Yep, it's there. Oh, that is lovely. That is absolutely lovely. That's the ginger, that's the vinegar, that's the sugar, everything in there you expect and more. So I've got to try and emulate this, slash copy it, slash remember it. And I think I'm pretty much there. The recipes I use all are found off the internet, written down, and hopefully I wrote them down properly. And of course you just couldn't get a simpler recipe than this. All I need is really simple. So 500 grams of sugar into the pot. So once again, 3 pounds of pears, and to that I'm going to add peppercorns, ginger, whole cloves, pint of white vinegar, not cider vinegar, just white vinegar, all the way in there. Stick it in, couple of bay leaves. I'm going to peel off an orange, and then I'm going to stick in the juice as well. And that's pretty much it. It's a matter of boiling down and making it work. Now the only hard bit is judging the pears. When they're ready, I don't want them over poached. I don't want them under poached. Under poached, they're not done, and over poached, well, they're just mush. So, in with the orange peel. Cut on my orange and in with the juice. And of course, we're going to move on to ginger now. No need to trim off the skin at all, just as thinly as you can. Just get a piece, size of your thumb, 5 centimeters, 2 inches, whatever you want to call it. And there we go. Once again, in the pot. Follow that with a few peppercorns. The recipe calls for quite a handful really. And of course, some cloves. The smell on them are absolutely wonderful. Not too many, just a few. In we go. Alright, I'm heating these through now, just making sure the sugar's dissolved. bring it up to the boil and then get it going for 5 minutes. Well, it is really a ponging of vinegar in here. This will settle down, believe me, but right now it is eye-watering stuff. So let's get back into the table, start chopping and preparing our pears. Let's treat these with the respect they deserve. So, in with some lemon juice into a bowl of water, prevent any browning. You need to remember we're super thin, not as hard boiled or more cross pears we were just playing with it a minute ago. In there. So once again we're going to simply peel off the skin of these, and we're going to half or quarter them, whatever we sort of got the space for in a jar to do with. As you can see, skin peels off really easy, lovely thin skin. Cool. And what we'll do now, let's say, I'm just going to halve these, I think, because presentation wise should bring it out so much better. And a great little trick I learned was to use a melon baller to scoop out the heart seeds of the pear. Now if you haven't got a melon baller, your measuring spoons will do just fine. So in it goes, twist it around as best you can. Okay. And voila, out it comes. With a stalk, quite simply, don't be afraid of losing a bit, take it off either side and it should pop out. Trim up the top and bottom, okay. And that is a pear, definitely presentation. Just take that out. Look at that, perfect. Alright, that's the last of them. Hopefully the sugar's dissolved by now, so let's go and poach them off. Right, into the pan. The sugar is boiling away nicely. So, perfect, and make sure they go down. Yeah. So about 10-15 minutes, that's going to be poached away just fine, and we're going to be looking good. Right, so checking on the chutney. It's starting to get there, it is mashing down, I'm getting a lovely mash. I want to keep going, I'm going to hard boil this until it's absolutely just pulpy, the fruit is expanded, and that's what I want. So when my eyes stop watering, this is going to be an absolutely magical treat. Okay, time's up. Just get these little look, and they are going just fine. Transfer them to the back. So we need to get our jars, sterilized jars, out the oven. Of course they are red hot, so but I want it this way, so absolutely no contaminant whatsoever in between me putting the jar out and the contents in the jar. Here we go. Take the oven off. So with a slotted spoon, first pear out. Oh, hear that single where it hits it. Perfect. And again. Right, let's pour in some juice. As you can see, the peppercorn's going in and the liquid has slightly changed colour, which is exactly what I want. Now I'm going to shove some ginger and orange peel in there and make it even tastier. Alright, that is absolutely looking scrumdiddlyumptious, I tell you. To use a phrase is a bad thing, but there's no. And to prove it, I've got one here, freshly poached. The smell is divine, you've got it, it's sweet, it's beautiful. El dente, to the tooth, perfect. You know, can I stick any more cinnamons, acronyms, etc. in? I don't know, but it's going to mature. The flavours the next few months are really going to get there. That's good. You've got a peppercorn? Yep. So, yeah, that's spicy. Yeah. So that will absolutely get there and it'll be lovely. Come Christmas time, this stick a cracker down, stick cheese on top, and one of these to cover it, and juice. Perfect for those winter, absolutely perfect. December, January, it's gonna be it. Right, in the meantime, let's have a look at our chutney. So which has been going for over an hour now, and I'm really impressed. The pears have not turned to mush. They are, as you can see, still very much there. They're firm-ish, and it is tasting like a very raw, very new, fresh chutney. Once again, over the next few months, that's going to be perfect. So let's get on with jarring it up and sealing it up. We're not here just to make chutney, we're here for the title of the video, pear jam. And this jam recipe couldn't be easier if you tried. A couple of simple ingredients: pears, sugar, lemon juice, water, cinnamon, cloves, etc. Whatever you want to add into it, but the basic recipe is the same, and it's going to make a wonderful, delicious preserve that's going to see you through to the next 12 months. So without further ado, let's go pick some pears. Now we don't want these on the floor behind me. Oh no, we want the very best. So let's go here. Wow, look at that. Fallen off just by twisting it. And again. And again. Now these are the ones I want. So let's gather a few more of these up and head to the kitchen. You know what? It's far too nice a day to go inside to the kitchen. Let's stay out here and do it al fresco. So, armed with a table, a few basic ingredients, and obviously my pears, and a little bit of knowledge from BBC Food Guide, let's get cooking. The recipe calls for 4.5 cups of mashed pears, 3 tablespoons of fruit pectin, and 7.5 cups of white sugar. But on that note, I don't like using it separately because, you know, the guesstimation on it is not good enough. So I use preserving sugar or jamming sugar. Either or is good enough, and as it says on there, ideal for jams, marmalades, and preserves. So in goes the cinnamon, cloves, mixed spice, and nutmeg. Next with the sugar. Back my cup. 1, 2. Add the juice of 2 lemons. Don't worry about the pips. We'll scoop them out at the end. Most probably they'll rise to the surface when we're check that out, boiling away. And of course, lastly, it's time for the pears. Now, here we are. So the recipe's calling for 4.5 cups of mashed pears. That's about 18 medium-sized pears. Just skin them, halve them, core them, you know, and stick them in. Little labour of love, taking about 10 minutes. Like so. Just scoop out that core, take off the top, and whack it in there. As I say, I'm going to call a pear about half a cup, something like that. So once again, quarter it, scoop out the core, cut the top off, and chop it in there. Don't worry about browning because it's going over a lot of sugar, and it should be just fine. So once again, peel it, halve it, quarter it, and cut out that little root and obviously the seed bed going down the middle. Don't need to worry about getting the chunks too small, as they're going to dissolve in the pot under all that lovely sugar anyway. That's that. Let's get into the kitchen and turn this into jam. About an hour and a half later, more like 2, this is actually looking perfectly what it should be. It's jam consistency, the smell is absolutely wonderful, and I think we're going to be ready to pot it up. So with our special tool, into our jars we go. Oh, this is messy work, no denying it. I could really do with a funnel. But hey, wipe it off and it'll be fine. Yeah. Quite a bit of wiping required. Oh God, that is hot. Damn, that's hot. So there we are. The perils of dealing with hot jam while canning. So a lot of people stick these into bain-marie, that is a water bath, and let the pressure of the water bath, as it calls, settle it. But because this is red hot jam, and I mean red hot, my hands are actually burning. Right, see, evidence. Right, because it's actually red hot, what I rely on is these pre-made lids here, which are commercially bought. So it's your average jam jar. As you can see, these are a nice mixture, and this one even is a coffee jar with a hermetically sealed lid. So what's going to happen, as that cools, the entire jar is going to be sucked down and pressurized, and you'll hear that pop sound as it goes down. It's as good as canning and boiling in a water bath. It will make it. It's no different at all. Like I say, these are just commercially produced, not the ones where you get with a separate lid and everything. But I digress. So, 3 jars and a half. I will hold this with properly, it's so damn hot. Right, and here's the dangerous bit. So, lovely. Yeah, lovely colour, lovely consistency. It's jam, it is wonderful. It smells like pear jam. It is pear jam. And burning my tongue to prove to you it is a delicious sweet pear jam. The only difference I make is the quantity. It really goes down. So this is made 3 and a bit jars, as you can see. And that came from 18 medium-sized pear. So next time I'd say minimum 36, so double the quantity. So it was 5 cups of sugar, the pectin sugar, so that'll be 10 cups or 2 kilos, 36 pears. And just like I say, instead of 1 teaspoon of the cinnamon, allspice, and nutmeg, sorry, half teaspoon of each, double it to 2, and instead of 2 lemons. poach these pears, I'm going to need to skin them, half them, and core them. Ideally I'd use a melon baller or something like that to scoop out that core, but if you haven't got that, I found measuring spoons are the ideal substitute. So let's make a start. The first thing I'm going to need to do is get some water and make it acidic. Quite simple. Add a lemon to my water, cut it up, squeeze it in, raise the pH level of the water so when I cut and core the pears, they're not going to brown in the oxygen atmosphere. Right, let's get on and skin this bad boy. Nothing special here, just a potato peeler standard. Whack your way around it as quick as you can, because there's a lot to get through. You don't want to be faffing around. Skinned, halved, and now just take out the core. Run the knife from top to bottom. Make a little wedge either side. Knock that out. Get your melon baller or measuring spoons. Scoop it round, nice big circle. Voila. And again, a little close up this time. Take it round all the way. Scoop to the side. Halve it straight. Cut your little wedge out the middle. And there you go. Melon baller for the core. Back it in there. Nice big circle. Inches out. Trim up the top and bottom. Perfection. Into the pot. So while that's going on, let's start off making our simple sugar solution. So what I'll need: sugar and water. Couldn't be easier, and it goes by volume. So whatever you do, I want 1 part sugar to 4 parts water. So we've got a kilo here of sugar. Let's call it 2.2 pounds to be nice and imperial. In the jug it goes. Let's say let's fill the jug. That's absolutely fine. Into the pot, and now I'll simply get 4 more jugs of water into there, and it makes me a simple syrup solution. I'm going to boil that down, make it nice and thick, and when it's ready, I'm going to add my pears to it and poach them off. 3 more of that, and we're in business. Alright, give that about 20 or so minutes to get up to temperature, and meantime, let's keep skinning our pears, keep coring them, halving them, and getting ready. I'd say if you've got a lot of produce, a big harvest, this is going to take all day. So just be prepared to spend all day in the kitchen. Be happy, whack the radio on, listen to some tunes. Okay, last one here. Let's get it done. Cut the base, cut the top. Yeah, get it. Come on. Give it a trim at the top, bottom, and in the pot. Right. I think because there's so much volume of water in there, I'm going to add 1 more lemon to it to make sure the water's pH is raised sufficiently. And then seal it off with a cap until this solution behind me is ready, boiled and thickened down. Could take, let's say, 20 minutes, half hour. I'm not too sure, but on the top, taking out excess oxygen. And this is just my storage jar. This is not my jar it's going to finally be in. I'm going to put in a nice couple of presentation jars so I can hand it out as Christmas presents or whatever, give them to myself and enjoy cheese and crackers. As you know, it's my favourite. I am a cheese fanatic. While this is reducing, let's add a bit of vanilla to it. You could be fancy and add a vanilla pod, but I'm quite happy just a dash of vanilla essence in there to give that a little zing. And at the same time, let's stick our pears into poach. There's no point waiting until it's all simmered down and got real thick and gloopy. let's do it because the sugar water is there, it's up to temperature, let's not waste it. So, we can drain these off now, get them in. So there we go, into the pan, couple at a time, making sure not to splash, because sugar water sticks and burns. Right, let's clear this away and introduce you to my best friends, coffee jars. These are absolutely fantastic. The presentation on this is fantastic. They seal well, they've got a lovely sealer on top. Rubber sealed, as good as anything you buy in a homeware store. You know, your mason jars or whatever you want to call them. It's just as good. And you know what? You buy your coffee, you drink it, you're left with this. It's fantastic. If you work in an office, even better, because these are always in the recycling bin. Dig them out, get a dozen, and you are set for the pear season. All right, these are poaching just fine. On the edge of boiling, I do not want to turn them mush, so now I think it's time to take them out and stick them in the jars. So, as quick as I dare, let's stick them in. Whoa. Got to be really careful here. Putting sugar on skin is not fun whatsoever. And as I say, I've really given these a super light poach. I don't want anything excessive, because remember, it's not going to last a week. It's going to last 3+ months. So I don't want mush in this pot. I want firm pears. Oh, check this out, magic! Really proud of that, really happy. Firm, al dente, and that's the reason that, as I said, and I'll repeat it again, I did not want them cooked, I wanted them lightly poached, because these are going to last. I don't want mush, I don't want pear sauce, I don't want pear jam, whatever, pear butter, whatever you want to call it. I want poached pears in brandy. And speaking of brandy, there wouldn't be brandy without the classic cooking brandy. Napoleon brandy, the cheapest shit you can buy. It doesn't matter, because it's not about the flavour of this. It adds to it certainly, but it is the preserving quality. Because in here, I've got my pears and I'm going to let them slightly cool off, just slightly, so I can then add the rest of the liquor sauce, the sugar solution, to this when it's reduced down a bit more. And on top of that, pour the brandy in, nice layer on top, nice preserving layer, seal it down, done. Right, I want to thank you all for coming on me on this fantastic voyage du pear, pear du voyage, whatever. But before I let you go, it wouldn't be right to let you go without giving honorary mention to my obelisk pear. This is my pollinator. This is the one that makes it all go. All the others will be nothing without this pear. And it is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful tree. It is a compact tree. It is perfect for a small garden. As you can see, look at this. Just a little upright growth, nothing branching off, no spurs, no nothing, and look at the size of the fruit. Way, oh, absolutely massive. You just can't ask for better. I've had conference for years, and it's been a wonderful little pollinator, but out of itself, the fruit has been very poor. It's been very small. This may produce only 2 this year, but I bet they're going to be the best there is. And it's perfect for colder climates. I couldn't praise it enough. Except one final praise to say, it comes from Ken Muir. I did mention that when I bought the thing last year, or was it early this year? I think it was 2020. Yeah, so please, if you want a pollinator and you bought a conference, go get an obelisk, O-B-L-I-S-K. I believe it's Polish in origin, and it is just perfect for the smaller, more compact gardens and those who want something just a little bit different. So on that different note, I want to say thank you very much. It's been Deep in the Bunker. Take care, stay safe, stay sane.